Ooh, what's up, nerds and geeks? My name is OMG WTF LOL FTW BRB. Welcome back to more Total Extreme Wrestling 2016. We are playing as the WWF in the year 2002. Still booking the invasion angle. We are now on the road to the Royal Rumble, but before we get to Monday Night Raw, before we get to Nitro, before we get to Heat, Royal Rumble, and on the road to WrestleMania, like I said, it's a new year. We had the end of the year awards. We won, I think, 4, maybe 5. We won Company of the Year, Match of the Year, Show of the Year, Veteran Wrestler of the Year, even though that went to DDP. And then we won Announcer and Color Commentator with Jim Ross and Jerry the King Lawler winning those awards. Armageddon won Show of the Year despite being the final Show of the Year, beating out M-Pro's Danger Zone tour last night, too, which also put on a pretty good show. Absolute success. We already put out some extensions to Jerry Lynn and, I guess his name's Barry Buchanan, Bull Buchanan and Charlie Haas at Developmental, because they're great. We're going to go ahead and explore the mod a little bit here at the database, but before we can get into the database, I want to go ahead and check our Developmental Stars, see how everybody's doing, and see if we're going to be releasing anybody. Well, not releasing anybody because nobody's contracts are coming up, but see if anybody is worth calling up in the near future. I've definitely got some people on the short list to call up after the invasion angle is over, of course, but we'll get to that when we get to that. First, we have the current NWA Wildset Heavyweight Champion, Das Funda Kid, Alex Wright, who, to be honest, I'm almost certain is doing great. I've seen him on my roster already, putting on some good matches. Although he is below average in both Brawling and Pro-Res. But he's gone from May of 2001 all the way to below average in Brawling. From Hardcore, he's gone to Abysmal to weak from May to January. Mat Wrestling's gone from above average to strong from May to January. And that's about it for improvements for him in the in-ring area. No improvements in the performance. He's been very strong for the entire what is that, 9 months? 9, 8 months, I think? I don't know. I could count them, but let's see. May to June, June to July, July to August, August to September, October. Yeah, 9 months. But either way, he's gone from weak to below average in power, and then below average to average in the May to January. Entertainment's gone up, although for this month alone, he hasn't made any improvements. Beth Phoenix, no improvements for the month either. BJ Whitmer, with no improvements as well. Brock Lesnar, no improvements. Bull Buchanan had some improvements this past month, which is ultimately what talked me into keeping him under contract. He went up from an F+ to an E- in Hardcore, E- to an E in Mat Wrestling, E- to an E in Flashiness, 39D- to a 41D in on the microphone, 52D or 50D+ to a 52D+ on the as a Charisma. So maybe not the most impressive improvements, but improvements nonetheless. We then go to Chad Coiler, who made no improvements. Charlie Haas, who was the other person who his contract was coming up, I don't believe he made any improvements this month as well, but he's been a fine specimen, suspect, call him what you like. He's looked pretty impressive even on the days that I've called him up as well for just jobber matches. Colt Cabana, with no improvements this month. Corporal Cajun, no improvements. Damaja, nothing. D'Lo Brown, former HWA Heavyweight Champion, with no improvements for this month. Ikimu? I don't know. Either way, Umaga, I believe that's who that one is. Yep. With no improvements for the month. Elix Skipper, no improvements for him as well. Eric Angle, I believe that's the brother to Kurt. Yeah, but no improvements for him. Evan Courageous, 1/3 of 3 counts with no improvements. Easy Money, gone up from strong to very strong in performance. That's good. Although nothing else for him. Gail Kim, nothing for her. Disco Inferno Glenn Gilberti, gone up from a D plus to a C minus in ProRes. F plus to an E minus in Hardcore. Never mind, I already read that one. No in-ring improvements after those. Nothing in the performance section or physical. He has gone up on nothing in entertainment either. I misread something. Gutter, who is one of our newest signees, so I doubt there's been any improvements at all. John Cena, with no improvements as well as it seems. Johnny the Bull Stamboli, nothing going for him. Kaz Haishi, who I also believe is newer, with no improvements as well. Ken Anderson, nothing. Chemo, who went up from below average to average in Hardcore. And then he went up from an E plus to a D minus in the microphone, or on the microphone, and his respect is getting better. Lance Cade, may he rest in peace, made a improvement in physical from average to strong. Leviathan, aka Batista, with no improvements for the month. Lisa Marie Varon, aka Victoria, with no improvements. Lufisto, with no improvements. Mark Henry, with no improvements. Matt Cross, with nothing. Maven, with nothing. Mickey James, with nothing. Mike Sanders, with nothing. Monty Brown, the alpha male, with nothing. Nick Dinsmore, aka Eugene, with nothing. Nikita, who went up from average to strong in physical. Current OVW Women's Champion, Nikita. Onyx, one half of the NWA Tag Team Champions, who went up from average to strong in ring, average to strong in performance. Good month for Onyx here. Although entertainment could have used a little improvements as well, I would have liked to seen. Race Steele, no improvements. Randy Orton, with no improvements, but although he is strong in like everything. Red Dog, with nothing for him. Reno, with nothing for him. Ricky Banderas, with nothing. Rob Conway, I believe the current OVW Heavyweight Champion, with nothing. Ron Waterman, with nothing. And then Russ Haas, who I believe everyone said passed away in December, but like I said many times, I don't believe it was going to happen. I just figured that was, the mod creator putting that in there, but didn't actually make him pass away. But he could still pass away. You never know. Would be unfortunate, but so far so good. Scott Vick with nothing. Sean O'Hare with nothing going for him. Shannon Moore, current HWA World Champion. Nothing. Shelly Martinez with nothing. Shelton Benjamin went up from average to strong in ring, average to strong in performance. Good month for Shelton. Steve Bradley, looking to become the next gobbledygooker with that gimmick. Not the gobbledygooker, wrong person. The Goon. The Goon. Gobbledygooker, what am I saying? Although both horrible gimmicks in their own right. Taylor Mathney with no improvements as well as Steve Bradley. Terry Funk's just a trainer. The Machine. On the Machine. Nothing. Tracy Brooks with nothing. And then finally, Yang with nothing. So not the best show for, or best, showing, I guess, for the developmental talents. But either way, good show, or good month for both Shelton Benjamin, and there was somebody else, but unfortunately I can't remember. Enhancement talents after we auto-push go to Funaki, Jamie Noble, and Jerry Lynn, who I just offered a contract to. He's a good hand, so it'll be good to have him help putting over people and helping other young wrestlers improve when they debut. Openers are Chavo Guerrero Jr., Just Incredible, Scotty 2, Hottie, Spike Dudley, Steve Blackman, and Tommy Dreamer. Still can't get him out of that opener position. Lower mid-carders are The One, Billy Gunn, Al Snow, Billy Kidman, Dean Malenko, Grandmaster Sexay, Hardcore Holly, Sabu, Steven Richards, and The Good Father. Mid-card talents are Boss Man, Bradshaw, Eddie Guerrero, Hugh Morse, Jeff Hardy, Lance Storm, Lord Steven Regal, Mark Jindrak, Matt Hardy, Perry Saturn, Raven, Rick Steiner, Rikishi, Rob Van Dam, Sean Stasiak, Val Venus, and Vampiro. Our upper mid-carders are Albert, Chris Benoit, Christian, Chuck Palumbo, Edge, Canyon, Kurt Angle, Rhino, Ron Simmons, Scott Steiner, and Test. And then finally, our main event talents are Booker T, Chris Jericho, Diamond Dallas Page, the Veteran of the Year, Diamond Dallas Page, or Goldberg, Kane, Ric Flair, Stone Cold Steve Austin, The Giant, The Rock, The Undertaker, and Triple H. Go ahead and look at our creative meeting. Franchise players are The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Undertaker, and Triple H. Albert, Edge, Molly Holly, Trish, and Test are considered our next big things, while Jeff Hardy, Molly Holly, Trish Stratus, Matt Hardy, and Grandmaster Sexay are the hot prospects. The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, Chris Jericho, Ric Flair, and The Undertaker can talk the talk, while our showstoppers are Jericho, Rock, Kurt Angle, Eddie Guerrero, and Chris Benoit, and ring generals being Chris Benoit, Chris Jericho, Triple H, Kurt Angle, and The Rock. Currently, Rhino, Undertaker, Raven, Billy Kidman, and Lance Storm are considered hot, while Steven Richards, Hardcore Holly, The One, Billy Gunn, Grandmaster Sexay, and Ivory are not. DDP and Dean Malenko are on a time decline, and our current hidden gems are considered Cheerleader Melissa, Claudio Cascanoli, Nova, Yoshiniro Tajiri, and Matt Stryker, who I'm going to offer all these guys developmental contracts if they'll take them. So let's see. Let's go ahead and see if she'll take a developmental deal. If so, they will get the contracts. If not, sucks for them. 1560, and she'll take the deal. So we got Cheerleader Melissa coming in. Let's see if we can get Cesaro. Under a developmental deal, of course. We'll do 1560 because that's what Cheerleader Melissa took, so I'm going to assume Cesaro will want the same. And he'll take the dev deal. So there we go. We got Cesaro, otherwise known as Claudio Cascanoli. Let's see if we can get Nova to take a dev deal. Ooh. Alright, let's see if he'll do 17. He won't do that. Let's see if he'll do 1850. We'll do covered. What am I thinking? 2070, and he'll take a developmental deal. That's fine. So 270 for Nova. There we go. Tajiri, who I don't believe will take a developmental deal, to be honest. I think we've offered him in the past, and he's declined. He's a guy that we'll just have to hire straight out, which I do plan on doing post-invasion. But let's go ahead and see if we can get him now. If now we can, that'll be great. Yeah, I didn't think so. He doesn't want to. He's too good for a developmental deal, which is fine. And then finally, your teacher, my teacher, everybody's teacher, Matt Stryker. So developmental deal, let's offer him 1560 like we did the others. And there we go. We got a couple people coming in under developmental deals. Let's take a look at our short list as well, see if there's anybody here. Let's go ahead and go for... Let's do good in-ring workers. So we got Aja Kong, Christopher Daniels, Dustin Rhodes, Kento Kobashi, Kid Cash. I'm almost positive none of these guys will take developmental deals. But that's fine. Let's explore the database. We've already explored the end of the years in the previous videos. Let's look at the Power 500, shall we? Of course, here's the end of the years, just in case any of you missed it. Wrestler of the Year was Jun Akiyama. Tag Team of the Year was Shinjiro Otani, I don't know, and Shinya Hashimoto. Young Wrestler of the Year was Shunji Kondo. Veteran of the Year was DDP. Female of the Year was Akira Hokuto. Independent Wrestler of the Year was Norman Smiley. Company of the Year was the WWF. No Most Improved. Match of the Year was Rock vs. Austin at No Mercy. Card of the Year was Armageddon. Manager of the Year was Jim Neidhart. Announcer of the Year was JR. Color Commentator of the Year was Jerry Lawler for the 4th time. And Hirokio Unio, or whatever, won the Referee of the Year. Will Norman Smiley take a developmental deal? How old is Norman Smiley? 36? What was his best match? Why did he get Veteran Wrestler of the Year? It's just interesting. Or not Veteran, Independent Wrestler of the Year. So let's take a look at the Power 500. I'm only going to go over the top 10, and then I'm just going to look at our top wrestlers who made it. So like I mentioned before, Jun Akiyama, number 1 Wrestler of the Year, went from 22 to number 1. Kento Kobashi, who was previously number 1, went down to number 2. Miswa, I don't know, went from number 5 to number 3. Yoshihiro Agawa went from number 80 to number 4. Big jump for him. Triple H is our best Wrestler of the Year. Went from 13 to number 5. And that ends out the top 5. Rock went from 3 to number 6. Austin went from number 11 to number 7. Jericho went from number 2 to number 8. Akira Toru went from number 56 to number 9. Big jump for him. And then ending out the top 10 goes the Jushin Liger with number 9 to number 10. Look at Taka Michinoku. Made a name for himself after WWE. So let's go ahead and do people who work for us. Oh, I'm clicking on E. I was like, why is it not popping up? So let's look at us. So like I mentioned before, Triple H, who is our best wrestler of the year. Then it goes to The Rock, Stone Cold Steve Austin, and Chris Jericho, all in the top 10. Undertaker then falls at number 17. Booker T at number 18. Diamond Dallas Page at number 20. Excuse me, I didn't even look at this. Undertaker went down from 15 to 17. Booker T went up from 25 to 18. DDP went up from 32 to 20. Benoit went down from number 8 to 21. Kurt Angle went down from number 7 to 28. Albert went way up. Number 470 to number 32. Big Show went from 159 to 33. Chris Kanyon went from 103 to 35. Scott Steiner finds his way on the list after not being on the list last year to a 36. Tess with a 182 to a 39. Rhino with from 226 to 40. Rick Steiner with 237 to 442. Rob Van Dam went down. He was previously 38 to now 45. Hugh Morris finds himself from 125 to 46. Chuck Palumbo with a big jump as well, 449. Just barely made the Power 500 last year to 48 this year. Lance Storm from 99 to 49. Vampiro with a 35 to a 50, so he fell down. Glenn Jacobs Kane went from a 83 to a 51. Matt Hardy from 68 to 54, so he's better than Jeff. Ron Simmons went from 223 to 56. Jeff from 48 to 59, so he went down. Edge from 30 to 68, is that what that is? Yeah, so he went down. Mark Jindrak finds his place on this list after not being ranked last year at 74. John Stasiak right behind him with a 75. Brother Ray, Bubba Ray, call him what you want, 193 to 80. Christian Cage fell down pretty far, if I do say so myself, 43 to 84. Bradshaw went from 178 to 88. Devon Dudley went from 148 to 94. William Regal, 93 to 99, so Regal makes the top 100. Dean Malenko completes the top 100, falling down pretty far from Oh, this isn't the top 100. Excuse me. Dean Malenko's 109. So it's 39 to 109 this year. Sabu went from 114 to 110. Rikishi, 169 to 111. Eddie Guerrero was number 4. Big drop for Eddie. Number 4 to 118 this year. Raven was number 51 to 134. Chavo Guerrero, number 26 to 141. Billy Gunn went from 141 to 151. Jerry Lynn went from 102 to 154. Al Snow, 108 to 155. Lito went from 162 to 157. Tommy Dreamer, 206 to 160. Rey Mysterio Jr. with a big drop, number 6 to number 169. Billy Kidman from 147 to 170. Perry Saturn from 110 to 176. Justin Credible from 201 to 181. Gregory Helms from 126 to 191. Val Venus 124 to 194. The Good Father with 263 to 198. Funaki finds himself from 77 to 201. Steven Richards from 145 to 203. Jamie Noble 168 to 206. Molly Holly 318 to 211. Spike Dudley with a 230 to 213. And that ends out our list. Spike Dudley, the last wrestler to make the Power 500 on the WWE roster. Out of curiosity, I want to see where AJ Styles ranked. AJ Styles is 171. Alrighty then. Let's check out companies before we end this off. We don't have many companies to look at like we do in the newer mods because there's like ROH and TNA and all that, but there are a couple of companies we can look at. Let's look at our developmental companies before we do this, and let's just take a look at their best performances of the year. So HWA Wrestling from October 2001 was their best event of the year. D'Lo Brown going over Glenn Gilberti on October 2001 was their best match. 726 was their best attendance. No pay-per-view buys for them. We then go to, let's check out, let's not. They're based in Scotland. We won't even know anybody from there. At least I won't. Let's look at New Japan, the only other company we really would recognize here. So let's look at our enhancement talents in New Japan, which are Wataru Inoue. Again, not sure if I pronounced that correctly. Openers are Katsuyori Shibata, Mikoshi, I don't know again. My apologies if I pronounce any of these wrongs. O'Hara and Silver King, and then Yasu Kanada. Lower mid-carders are Too Cold Scorpio, Akira, Rob Rage, Takashi Uwano, Tatsahori Goto, and Tenshiro Kuroda. Mid-card talents are Dr. Wagner Jr., El Samurai, Hiro Saito, Hiromuchi Fuyaki, Junji Hirata, Kengo Kimura, Masasaki Mochiki, Minoru Takanaka, Osamu Kido, Shiro Koshinaka, Taro Yasato, and Yutaka Yoshi. Upper mid-carders are Don Fry, Jeff Jarrett, Jushin Liger, Koji Kanemato, Manabu Nakanishi, Scott Hall, who is on his way out, Super J, and Yuji Nagata. And then finally, the main eventers for New Japan are Hiroshi Tenzan, Hulk Hogan, Kensuke Sasaki, Masahiro Chono, Satoshi Kojima, Scott Norton, Shinya Hashimoto, and Tatsunima Fujinami. Again, I probably butchered most of those names. Our tag teams are the Modern Ninja Killers, Silver King and Hiro Sato, Pain Incorporated, Kaji Kanemato and Minoru Tanaka, Quick City Kingpins, Akira and Taito Yasato, Ten Goji, Hiroshi Tenzan and Satoshi Kojima, the Bull Powers, Manabu Nakanishi and Satoshi Kojima, and the Chaos Connection, El Samurai and Kengo Kumaro. The current champions, G1 Climax was won by Scott Norton this year. G1 Climax Tag League was won by Shinya Hashimoto and Hulk Hogan this year. The current IWGP Heavyweight Champion is Satoshi Kojima. The current IWGP Junior Heavyweight Tag Team Champions are Koji Kanemato and Minoru Tanaka. The current IWGP Tag Team Champions are Ten Koji. And Super J is the New Japan Wrestling Spirit Champion. Let's see. Hulk Hogan, Masahiro Chono, Scott Norton, Kensu Sasaki, and Tatsunumi Fujinami are the stars of New Japan. And I wasn't done looking at that, actually. I wanted to tour the company. No, I didn't want to tour the company. I wanted to do the top 100. So the best show was World Pro Wrestling from September 2001. Best match was Masahiro Chono going over Yuji Nagata from a World Pro Wrestling in November 2001. Top attendance was 48,000 for All Japanese War in 2001. Best pay-per-view buy rate was New Japan Wrestling Dontaku with a 1.06. And there you have that. We then move on to yet another developmental company of ours. Again, I just want to kind of check out their top 100 with NWA Wildside from October 2001 being their best rated event. Alex Wright versus AJ Styles with their best match. Top attendance was 2,368 and no pay-per-view buy rates. And then finally, our last developmental company. I did not mean to do tour in the company. I meant to go to top 100. OVW Wrestling from November 2001 was their top 100 event, or their best event, I should say. Nick Dinsmore going over Fit Finlay was their best match, and their top attendance was 838. Other than that, I don't. What did I do? Let's kick out of that. I don't think there's really any other place we want to check out. We could look at Pro Wrestling Noah, or what is the other place? All Japan, but I don't really know much about those companies myself to check them out. Other than that, though, I think we're about done here. Of course, next pay-per-view being the Royal Rumble. That'll be a lot of fun. I've got big plans for that. I've got big plans in general, Nerds and Geeks. We're on the road to WrestleMania now. It's going to be exciting. Hope you guys have enjoyed its little tour of the database. If you have, go ahead and do me a favor. Leave me a comment, like, and subscribe if you haven't already. And as always, my name has been OMGWTF, LOLFTWBRB. And I'll see you, Nerds and Geeks, for the first official episode of 2002, episode 102 of WWF Raw, as we start the road to the Royal Rumble and the road to WrestleMania. So, till then, Nerds and Geeks, I'll see you guys next time.